The top stories: expert says Battle of Adwa is symbol of African resistance and triumph. And ONLF dismisses a statement circulating on social media, reaffirms commitment to peace and agreement. Hello and welcome to ABC World, the voice of Pan-Africanism. With the news, I'm Tabitha John. Do stay with us. Deputy Prime Minister Temesgen Tiruneh has arrived in Bahir Dar City, Amhara Regional State, to inspect the ongoing development projects in the region. Upon his arrival at the Bahir Dar Dejazmach Belai Zelleka Airport, the Deputy Prime Minister was welcomed by senior regional officials, including the regional lead, Aragga Kabede. The Central Committee of the Ogaden National Liberation Front, ONLF, has dismissed a statement issued in Nairobi in the name of the party, asserting that it is not recognized by ONLF and does not reflect its official position. It is worth noting that a statement titled, quote-unquote, "The Ethiopian government has abandoned the 2018 peace agreement with ONLF," was posted on the social media platform X on Sunday, March 3rd, 2025. In light of this, the party's Central Committee said the statement issued on Sunday in Nairobi does not represent ONLF. The Central Committee reaffirmed its commitment to the agreement the party signed in 2018 with the federal government of Ethiopia and commended the development activities being undertaken by the government since the signing of the agreement. In an official response from Jigjiga, the Central Committee emphasized that the Nairobi statement released on Sunday violates the 2018 Asmara peace agreement between ONLF and the Ethiopian government and does not represent the party. The committee further highlighted that peace and development in the Somali region have been progressing positively since the signing of the Asmara agreement. The party commended the efforts of both the federal and Somali regional governments in implementing the agreement and addressing the political, economic and developmental needs of the people. It expressed regret that the Nairobi statement failed to acknowledge these achievements. In this regard, ONLF outlined the following key points. Number one, the Nairobi statement issued in ONLF's name was released by individuals without the approval of the party's Central Committee, Executive Committee or Vice Chairman Abdul Karim Sheikh Musi. Therefore, it does not represent ONLF. Number two, ONLF remains committed to the Asmara peace agreement and will continue to strengthen its peaceful political struggle. The party acknowledges and appreciates the contributions of both the federal and Somali regional governments in implementing the agreement. 3. ONLF will soon convene a conference under the regulations of the Ethiopian National Election Board, where key decisions and strategic directions will be determined to reinforce the peaceful struggle. 4. Finally, ONLF would like to warn the public not to be misled by unauthorized statements and called on those responsible to refrain from such actions. Welcome back. Professor Hakim Adi, a renowned UK-based expert in African history and the African diaspora, says the legacy of the Battle of Adwa remains a powerful symbol of African resistance and triumph. The scholar explained that the battle's significance endures, standing as a historic testament to Africa's strength and determination in the face of colonialism. Goshu Meliso has more from the Ethiopian News Agency.
The Battle of Adwa took place during a period when European imperial powers were aggressively competing for control over the continent of Africa. In an exclusive interview with the Pulse of Africa, Professor Adi shared his views on the enduring legacy of the Battle of Adwa, an iconic event that continues to inspire global movements for sovereignty and independence.
The Battle of Adwa is still powerful because it represents that African victory. It shows that Africans can stand up for their sovereignty, their independence. That if we fight, then our enemies can be defeated. And it's not accidentally that independent Ethiopia became the symbol that when the Organization of African Unity was formed in 1963, it was hosted in Ethiopia, just as the African Union is today. So that symbol of Ethiopian independence and sovereignty continues to remain important.
Professor Adi said Ethiopia's preservation of independence proved Africans could resist European intervention, making Ethiopia a symbol of Pan-African victory.
The Battle of Adwa and the securing of Ethiopia's independence was an amazing inspiration to other people in Africa fighting against the imposition of colonial rule and the imperialist states, but also an important inspiration to the people of African heritage throughout the world, in South America and the Caribbean, that in Ethiopia there existed an independent African state, a state which had preserved its sovereignty and which had shown that Africans could resist European intervention and invasion, and that the idea of white supremacy was defeated in that battle. It showed that Africans could overcome a European enemy. So it was extremely important and inspirational victory. And Ethiopia became a symbol of Pan-African victory, one of only 3 African or black states that existed in the world at that time. So it's an extremely important victory.
Adwa's victory, he emphasized, reminds that Africa can resist external control and protect its interests when united.
The victory in Adwa shows many things. It wasn't just a military victory. It was a political victory, a diplomatic victory. It showed the importance of modernizing a country, making sure that it had a developed economy, or as developed an economy as was possible at that time. And I think all of these victories, all of these things to African countries today, as well as to the African Union, that African countries individually and collectively need to be strong, need to be united, and that if they are strong, united, economically developed, then they can stand up and defend their independence and sovereignty. So it's again a very important lesson, a very important victory, not just for Ethiopia and for Ethiopians, but for all Africans, all people of African heritage throughout the world.
The 129th anniversary of the Adwa victory was celebrated colorfully on Sunday, March 2nd, under the theme Adwa Victory of the Black People.
In business news, African Seed Trade Association, AfCTA, Congress 2025 has attracted over 300 high-level delegates from 48 countries around the world under the theme 25 Years Strong, Innovating Quality Seed for Africa's Sustainable Agriculture. This 25th African Seed Trade Association Annual Congress has officially been opened in the early hours of this morning, March 3, 2025, in Kigali, Rwanda. The Congress ends on March 6, 2025, after a special policy dialogue meeting on plant breeding innovation and biotechnology between the seed industry players and the policy makers, including the top government officials from more than 10 countries and the representatives of the African Union. The AFCTA Annual Congress, the only one of its kind in Africa, brings together leading seed traders and producers, traditionally covering a broad range of topics in the seed value chain. This year's Congress, apart from celebrating AFCTA's 25 years of existence, will focus on discussions around future trends and vision for transforming Africa into a dynamic seed trade hub for sustainable growth in the agricultural sector and enhanced food security. It will also dwell on strategies of scaling up technologies and innovations in the seed system and how public-private partnerships can unlock opportunities for seed SMEs. Finally, Angola is set to become the 14th member of the Southern African Development Community, SADC, to join the regional market, representing a significant milestone in strengthening the SADC free trade area. The SADC confirmed that Angola secured a unanimous agreement to join its regional market during a trade negotiating forum in Luanda last week. In a statement, the SADC said the milestone was a victory for Angola, as well as a significant achievement for the region. SADC added that Angola's accession to the regional market reinforced its commitment to deepening economic integration, fostering intra-regional trade and enhancing economic resilience. As a member of the regional market, Angola will benefit from reduced tariffs and the elimination of non-tariff barriers, while other SADC member states will get improved market access for their goods and services in Angola. This will promote smoother trade within the region, push economic growth, and enhance regional prosperity. The SADC will hold additional meetings in May and June to ensure the full ratification and implementation of the agreement. You're watching ABC, a reminder of the top stories. Expert says Battle of Adwa, a symbol of African resistance and triumph. And ONLF dismisses statement circulating on social media, reaffirms commitment to a peace agreement. That's all we had for now. I'm Tabitha John. Thank you for watching. Goodbye for now.